Om Sahanam Bhavatu Sahanam Bhalattu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Together we'll chant Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verses 21 to 30.
तेतं भुक्त्वा स्वर्गलोकं विशालम् क्षीणे पुण्ये मर्त्यलोकं विशन्ति एवं त्रयी धर्ममनुप्रपन्नाः गतागतं कामकामा लभन्ते अनन्याश्चिन्तयन्तो माम् ये जनाः पर्युपासते तेषां नित्याभियुक्तानां योगक्षेमं वहाम्यहम् येऽप्यन्यदेवता भक्ताः यजन्ते श्रद्धयान्विताः तेऽपि मामेव कौन्तेय यजन्त्यविधिपूर्वकम् अहं हि सर्वयज्ञानां भोक्ता च प्रभुरेव च न तु मामभिजानन्ति तत्त्वेनातश्च्यवन्ति ते यान्ति देवव्रता देवान् पितॄन्यान्ति पितृव्रताः भूतानि यान्ति भूतेज्याः यान्ति मद्याजिनोऽपि माम् पत्रं पुष्पं फलं तोयं यो मे भक्त्या प्रयच्छति तदहं भक्त्युपहृतम् अश्नामि प्रयतात्मनः यत्करोषि यदश्नासि यज्जुहोषि ददासि यत्तपस्यसि कौन्तेय तत्कुरुष्व मदर्पणम् शुभाशुभफलैरेवम् मोक्ष्यसे कर्मबन्धनैः सन्न्यासयोगयुक्तात्मा विमुक्तो मामुपैष्यसि समोऽहं सर्वभूतेषु न मे द्वेष्योऽस्ति न प्रियः ये भजन्ति तु मां भक्त्या मयि तेषु चाप्यहम् अपि चेत् सुदुराचारः भजते मामनन्यभाक् साधुरेव समन्तव्यः सम्यग्व्यवसितो हि सः
Arun Sehgal, verse 25, those who work for a higher purpose of serving the nation or worshipping nation, which category they belong to. So in verse 25, he had said those who worship the devas go to the devas. That means those who worship the senses go to the senses. Meaning go to the senses means they live a life of enjoyment. They are only interested in which movie to see, which music to hear, which food to eat, things like that. Then we have Pitrun Yanti Pituvrataha. Those who are interested in the Pitrus, go to the Pitrus. Go to the Pitrus means you become traditional, you become culture oriented because you're all into tradition, whatever has been coming down from the past. So you're very, very deeply into that. Then Bhutani Yanti Bhuteja. The Bhutejaha, those who are worshipping the Bhutas, the elements, will go to the elements. What does that mean? That means people who are very interested in understanding how things happen, why is an object attracted to the center of Earth, what is gravity, what is this, what is that. So they become scientifically minded. They're investigating into the natural phenomenon. According to Indian tradition, the whole world is made up of the five bhutas, the five elements. So the investigation into the elements means the investigation into the natural phenomenon. So those are the scientists. And he says, those who seek me, reach me. So 4 types of people: one who is interested in enjoyments, one who is interested in tradition, culture, refinement, then one lot who is interested in science, investigation into various natural phenomena, and finally those who are the spiritual people who are seeking the self. So he's divided humanity into these 4 categories. Now, Arun's question is, those who work for a higher purpose of serving the nation or worshipping nation, which category would they belong to? So there doesn't seem to be anything so a nation or working for orphans or something like that. Then what category would such people come into? Now he has this, in this particular verse, divided humanity into these 4 types. And what is the classification based on? Remember, classification is just your intellect's way of slotting things. Where are we going to slot them? So various classifications are possible. There are no actual rules on them, except that you must have a standard. What is your classification standard? So his classification standard is, what are you worshipping? What is it that you are pursuing according to? So these people who are pursuing the nation will not obviously fall into any one of these categories unless we ask a further question, which is, what is it that this person who is worshipping the nation, what is he really trying to achieve? What is he trying to achieve for everybody, if he is trying to achieve it for everybody in the nation? Or what is he trying to do? He could be a politician. Okay, all he's trying to do is, politician means he is working, worship means pursuing. So he's pursuing the nation. Why is he pursuing the nation? Why is he pursuing the ideal of the nation? Because he wants the enjoyments in life. Could be, right? It's why is he seeking a national position or anything, a national view of anything? Because he's interested in his personal enjoyment. Or he could be pursuing it because of a sense of tradition, a sense of gratitude, or a sense of pride in the tradition of our country. What is, like, sometimes Modi talks like that. Now I'm only referring to how he talks. I don't know what is really in his mind. That's impossible to know, but he does talk like that. He talks about the culture, the tradition. So he could then, if he is being honest in how he's reporting his feelings, then he would fall into category number 2. Or there are some people, in fact, even in the first category, even if he chooses to be unselfish, what is he really trying to do for the nation? Some people only think in terms of improvement of the nation, in terms of, let us give them better food or better malls or better whatever, enjoyment of the people. in which case he would also fall in category number 1, because that's how he's looking at it, even if it is an ideal. Then the third kind is what will help my country is a better understanding of things. Better, let us build up, what is this? What is our space program? ISRO. That is what Kalam did, right? So then he would fall under Bhutani, because that's what he was trying to do. When he's saying, I want to serve my nation, means what? I'm going to set up a fabulous space program for India. And then, of course, there are some people, which let us hope at least some of us are, which is we will serve our nation with the intent of realizing the self. So anyone it could fall into, because he has classified it in these four. So now we have to also classify. If you're following his classification according to us, you have to follow it his way. Is that okay?
Yeah, Janki ji, I think that's right. Because I was struggling to fit this in any of the four. Because, example, being a soldier who's trying to defend the country against the enemies. Now, he's still in the world, and he's not thinking beyond the world at this point in time. He has a limited goal. And can we call him serving the worshipping the self or worshipping Krishna? Because he has a limited goal of defending the country against the enemies. So I was just trying to figure out where to put this.
Yeah, we would probably put it into, we'll have to analyze him a little further to find out when he says, I'm defending the country, what is he really defending? Is he defending, in most cases, it will probably be the idea of the nation, which will then come into Pitrus.
Yeah.
But of course, people like Kalam will be worshipping it in the sense of the scientists will worship. And people like us will be worshipping it in the sense of we want to also bring back our culture, right? We are also going to set up an institution that will help us bring our culture back, our tradition back. We appreciate that culture, we appreciate that tradition, but for what? What is our purpose as Vedantins in doing that? Is because this is our karma yoga towards the self. It's not an end in itself to bring back the tradition or bring back the knowledge. If you think of it in terms of bringing back the knowledge, then it will be in the Bhutani. But because we are also into the study of natural phenomenon, except that our natural phenomenon is our own mind and intellect. How do human mind and intellect function in this world? And I'm sure most of you, that's why so many psychologists like Vedanta, because the study is really of how your own mind will function. And that's a natural phenomenon. So why do we do that? Because we hope eventually to reach the self. So whatever we do is we have to fit it into his category as far as this was.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Is there anything else? No. Excuse me. So we did verse 25, which told us that there are these types of pursuits in this world. They are the pursuits of the terrestrial or the transcendental. When you're pursuing the terrestrial, you can pursue it in an extroverted way insofar as you're only looking for it as a source of happiness, or you are still pursuing the terrestrial, but you're looking for refinement in culture and tradition and something higher like that. Or sorry, not sure. What am I saying? Sorry. When you're pursuing the world, it could be either looking out for the enjoyment of the world or study of the world, which is the scientist. So enjoyment of the world is the extroverted way of doing it. The scientists are the introverted way of doing it. And when you're pursuing the transcendental also, same thing. There's an extroverted way. What is the extroverted way? All the rituals. And what is the introverted way? It is seeking the self. So some people, they are religious minded, but what are they spending all their time in doing? In doing the rituals. So rituals come under tradition, because where have these rituals come to us from? They've come from the past. So they keep doing those rituals over and over again. They do the havans and the yagnas, or they may go to the Char Dham Yatra, which now is going to become easy for people. Basically just doing whatever tradition has told them to do. And to be religious, not just amongst Hindus, in every religion. Every religion, 99% of the people who are interested in religion are only interested in the ritual aspect of the religion. And then, of course, a very, very small percentage of people in any religion who are looking for the transcendental reality. They may call it by any name. They may call it Brahman, they may call it Shiva or Vishnu, they may call it Allah or Father in Heaven, they may call it Shunyata. Buddhists like to use the word Shunyata, nothingness. Different people, different religions, different masters use different words to tell us that there is something beyond what we are doing. And the ritual is only a means towards that end. It's like the wedding ceremony is only a means to a marriage, right? You cannot stick with every day you're doing the wedding ceremony only. Arey Papa, when will you people live a married life? No, we want to do wedding every day. It's exactly like that. So we don't go into the depths of it. And after the wedding ceremony in a marriage, what happens? Then we have to meet the real life of that marriage, whatever it be. Even if you have the best spouse, it's still very difficult. And if you have a bad spouse, then it's terribly difficult. But in either case, you have to face whatever it is that your marriage offers. So similarly, in the spiritual path, some people, because of their past whatever work they have done, it's a little easier. The journey is easier. For some people, it's terribly difficult. But whatever it is, unless you undertake it, then there's no spiritual path, right? You cannot just keep doing the ritual every day. So those who see spirituality as the grind of daily spirituality. Not like, okay, now once in a while we did some ritual and we are very happy with life. It could happen even in class. I come to class once a week or twice a week or thrice a week, whatever I do. And that's it. No, that's not it. That's just the wedding ceremony, which you're repeating over and over again, instead of doing the work. And the work is painful, just as in a marriage, just as in a business, just as in your other studies. All that work is there. Whatever you want to do in life, there's work involved. Nothing is happening because you say, oh, this is so nice, this is so nice. What do you mean so nice? Kaam karo bhaiya. So the daily grind of doing it, that is the introverted aspect of spiritual life versus the ritualistic aspect. So that's what he's trying to tell us in 26. He's saying patram pushpam phalam toyam. Patram, the leaf, pushpam, the flower, phalam, the fruit, toyam, the water. Now, what are these things? These are like very simple, everyday things. They're not some fantastic thing. It doesn't even tell you that these people, only these people have access to these things. No, they're everyday things. Who cannot find a leaf? In some of the rituals, you see that you have to give a leaf, like Shiva's ritual, you give the patta. And so every aspect of it is very, very simple. It's the everyday thing. Are you doing that? So he says it's not what you are giving me, but how you are giving it. Are you giving it to me with the devotion? What is devotion? Devotion is your dedication to reaching that end. If you say, no, I'm very devoted, I love my God, mera to Gopal, mera Bal Gopal, mera kitna sweet Bal Gopal, Bal Ganesh. There's so much affection. But affection के बाद भैया क्या करोगे? नहीं. Also मेरा गोपाल मुझे देख लेगा. Your job is to look after it, not him. He is going to look after you. And therefore he tells you very clearly, prayatatmana, prayatna karne wala. No, I love Gopal. Mera what? Bal Gopal. What is that lovely? They're very affectionate towards the Murti and all that. It's not hypocritical. What is that? Nanni si.
नन्हे से ग्वाल मेरे मदन गोपाल.
That one.
नन्ही नन्ही गैया नन्हे से.
That one. So affectionate, so loving. Mere nanne se. Nanny, small little cows and small little gwalas and small little everything. It's natural affection you feel for that. But then prayatatmanaha. Prayatatmanaha means, so now when things are not going the way I want, what am I doing about it? Am I saying that it's not going the way I want because you are such a horrible person that you're not giving me what I want? Is that what I'm saying? Or is it that I'm saying, what did I leave undone? What thing could I do? Am I in the daily grind of self-improvement? What can I do further? How can I address this better? Am I in that daily grind? Or no, my God will take all my problems away from me. Your God's job is not to take your problems away from you. Your God's job is to not help you. Because the more he helps you, the more weak you become. When the child is crawling and trying to walk, the mother cannot keep on helping the child, or she will cripple the child. Whatever help and support you need, you will get. Know that the mother is wise enough to know when to help the child and when not to help. You don't worry about that. You worry about doing your bit. Are you falling and getting up and rising? Or are you falling and sitting up? Mujhe madad karo. Is every fall an occasion to rise again? Is every fall an occasion to learn something? To apply myself? To think carefully, what did I do this time? How did I not get it right? Prayatatmana. Which technically means, are you doing your karma? Are you doing your bhakti? Are you doing your jnana? Are you doing it? To ask yourself that question, when I claim to be on the spiritual path, what am I doing daily for it? Am I doing my morning studies? Morning studies have become like a bugbear on our head because we use all these formal terms. But at least this much we must know, that if I do not spend some part of the day simply collecting my thoughts and realigning to where I really want to go in life, I won't be able to do it because I'm going to be driven off. It's not like a ritual we have to do. Oh, we have to get up and study. Get up and study. How can you survive? How do you expect to reach your goal if you spend no time realigning to it on a daily basis? It is so easy in the currents and winds of life to go off. It is so easy. And therefore, you need that daily reminder. And it's not daily, you need more than daily, really, but at least daily. Once we have a place, and for those who have studied, they can come and rejuvenate themselves. That's what, ashrams in old times used to be, where people, they were doing their daily study. They were already educated in the knowledge. They were doing their daily study. And sometimes it's Guru Purnima day or something, if different gurus gave different instructions, they would go back to their original place and spend some time there realigning. Because by the time you even realize you've gone off the path, you've gone so far away that you don't know what happened over here. It's sort of very easy for life to magnetize us because life is going on all the time. So we'll maybe one day have a place where after your education, after your daily study, you still have a place to go to rejuvenate. That's also one of the reasons why we have been doing the retreats. You go back, spend lots of time with that thing which you really want. Spend time with that. What is it you really want? Spend time with that. Because, wanting something means what is the time I'm using for it? If I'm not spending that much time with it, then what? Suppose I say I want to start a business, I want to run a business, and I do it once a week. What's going to happen to my business? A businessman, you know what kind of time he spends with his business? It's not just physically, mentally. If you want to be a spiritual person, that's the kind of time you're going to spend with it. Then, of course, everybody says, no, but I have my daily duties. So what? If you have your daily duties, who doesn't? What is that lovely? मन में हो तो राम नाम, राम सेवा हाथ में, तू अकेला नाही प्यारे, राम तेरे साथ रे, विधि का विधान जान, हानि लाभ सही है, जाहि विधि राखे राम, ताहि विधि रही. I don't know if you all are familiar with this beautiful bhajan. No? Where is our singer? Aditi, you're also not familiar? It's beautiful bhajan. It says, जाहि विधि राखे राम, ताहि विधि रही है. मुख में हो तो राम नाम, राम सेवा हाथ में, तू अकेला नाही प्यारे, राम तेरे साथ. Isn't that so true? I mean, in Bhakti, they put it so beautiful. Ram, isn't the Atman with you all the time? Ram seva hath mein. You're doing whatever you're doing, whether you're doing housework, whether you're running a business, whether you're going to college, you're teaching, whatever you're doing, it's Ram seva. It is all the work that you're doing towards towards your own goal. So, Nonita, are you saying you know how to sing it?
Yes, Doc. I actually sing it all the time.
Okay,
That's
so
the only
please go
one
ahead
I
and sing it.
And now, you want me to sing it now? Okay. Jahe vidhi.
Sitaram, Sitaram. Sangeeta has written that.
सीताराम 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 कहिए, चाहे विधि राखे राम, ताहे विधि रहिए. सीताराम 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 कहिए, चाहे विधि राखे राम, ताहे विधि रहिए. मन में हो राम नाम, हाथ जगन्नाथ का, तू अकेला नहीं प्यारे, Ram tere saath mein. I have it written in the diary, doctor. I have it written in my diary, actually. I sing it all the time, but the thing is, at the moment...
It's all right. Don't worry about it. So, basically, can we do... can we constantly be doing Ram Seva? Constantly. That is devotion. Whatever I am doing, I'm doing for him. That is how I'm spending time with him. It's not like I'm spending time means I'm in the mandir. You don't need to go to the mandir. Tu akela nahi pyare, Ram tere saath re. Atman is with you regardless of who is there or who is not there. He is always there. You don't need to go anywhere to meet him. He is with you from birth to death. He is not leaving you. So don't have to do anything. Whatever you do it in his name, do it in his memory. So that's what he's saying. Patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam. Everyday, daily things available to us, all in his memory. But with bhakti, meaning you do whatever you're doing in life. Nobody is stopping you from doing whatever. You're running a business or whatever in the world you're doing, please do it. But see it as Ram Seva. See it as a stepping stone to your final destination. That is why he's given you three important things. Number one, it's just your daily life. Spirituality is not divorced from your daily life. If it is not your daily life, then you're not even a spiritual person. Because the only difference between a spiritual person and a material person is, what is he doing it for? Not what he is doing, but what is he doing it for? What is the purpose of him doing that? That's the only difference. There's no other difference. Spiritual people wear ochre robes. Spiritual people have long beards. Spiritual people don't care about what they wear. Spiritual people this and spiritual people that, all wrong. Spiritual people only means your goal is enlightenment, realization, merger with God, whatever in the world you want to call it, darshan of the Lord, whatever in the world you want to call it. But the point is, that's where you're headed. Every day, every moment, you know that's what you're doing. In all your simple life. So then everybody's living a simple life. So how is my life going to be any different? That's why it says bhaktya, with devotion. You're not living a different life from other people. You will still be married, you will still have children, you will still fight with your husband, you will still fight with your children, you will still life will go on. Okay, this is just normal life going on. Yesterday somebody told me very sweetly. She was very upset. I'm sympathetic about being so upset, but frankly, listen to this. That she is a single mother and an empty nester at that. So obviously feeling extremely lonely. So she brought her mother. Not she brought her mother. Her mother had to come and stay with her for some reason. And then the mother must have got fed up with this girl. So she went and now is staying with her sister. Now this girl is very upset because mother is not supportive. And she says, from childhood, I've had this problem with my mother. She's just never supported me. I don't want anything from her. But can't you expect mother's love from the mother? And she is always behaving like this with me. And I think she was pretty disappointed when I told her, can't I have a normal mother-child relationship with my mother? I said, I'm sorry to tell you, but this is the normal mother-child relationship. I mean, like if you tell the story to everybody will say, my mother also na aise hi mujhe itna support hi nahi kiya. Everybody says that. You tell somebody, oh, my husband, he doesn't listen to me. Everywhere I hear all this. My mother doesn't listen, my father doesn't listen, my husband doesn't listen, my children don't listen, my spouse don't listen, my neighbor doesn't listen, nobody in the building listens, nobody in my life listens. Hey, Baba, what makes you think people are going to spend their life listening to you? Just as you think they don't listen to you, they think you don't listen to them. Am I asking for too much? When I'm down, should she not be there for me? In her view, you are not there for her when she is down. This is normal life going on. Take it with a pinch of salt. It's okay. You will feel disappointed with the people around you, just as they feel very disappointed in you. Ask your husband, are you disappointed in me? If he knows what's good for him, he'll say no, but in his heart, he'll be saying yes. Because everybody is disappointed in their marriage. Who is not? Everybody got married thinking कि पता नहीं क्या लैला मजनू होने वाला है यहाँ. But कोई लैला मजनू होता नहीं है. then everybody is pulling at everybody else. Momita, are you then entitled to a good father? No, only to a father. Epictetus. You're fond of Epictetus, Momita? He's very good, isn't he? Remember his first line. That is the line of Vedanta also. Change. They won't say the same thing, really. You study any book, you will get the whole. So are you entitled to a good father? No. You're only entitled to a father, because if you didn't have a father, you wouldn't be here. So your only entitlement is that you do have a father. That he's even present in your life is not an entitlement. Entitlement is only that there was a father at one point. That's all that you are guaranteed, nothing else. So once you're able to see life, just see life. Which mother is completely happy with her child? Is there some mother like that? You say, yeah, I know that lady. She is so completely happy. Her husband is good. Her husband listens to her. Her son listens to her. Right, that man, he has a sports car. But मुझे तो ऐसे पैसे मिलते ही नहीं है. You really don't know what's going on in people's lives. You feel from outside. You know why you feel from outside? Because we have a desire. That's why we sort of color things in this world. When we have a desire, we color things to make it appear that as if I had that desire fulfilled, you don't even realize how untrue this is. You can't actually. Your experience is not. The experience is, if I had that, I would definitely be happy. That's my experience. So it's philosophy shouting its head out saying that no, you won't be. It doesn't really help. You are convinced beyond doubt. And the only thing that can help you, only thing, you know what it is?
Knowledge.
You're close, Bharat, but you need to hit the nail on the head.
Self-knowledge.
Knowledge of the self.
Very good, Asha, but you missed one word, so I'm going to give you only 50%.
Self-study.
That's your morning study. Correct. Your morning study. Because what are you doing in your morning study? You're sitting down and thinking all these wonderful things which I have been wanting in my life. Is there any truth in what I am saying? That's your fundamental question. As a philosopher, you are in pursuit of truth. So is what you're saying true? That's your fundamental question. Now, if you don't sit down and think about it, how are you going to ever find the answer? You'll go on forever. I mean, I'm totally sympathetic with the people who call me and tell me their problems. I don't mean to discourage anybody, but the fact of the matter is, you are wasting your time. I won't say mine, but you are wasting your time because you're not willing to listen to the answer. Just not willing to listen to the answer. You repeat the question 1,000,000 times, but you will not take the answer and run with it. To find out, is this answer true? It is almost impossible. I struggle with this. I don't know what to say. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I've not answered the question properly. Maybe it's not true, whatever I'm saying. But if you haven't even examined it, how on earth will you know? I hear the question over and over again. At least decide I don't know the answer and stop asking me the question. Utna to karo. But what is the use of repeating the question? Have your question ready and then listen to the answer. If people do this much in my life, itna mera time bachta aur unka bhi नहीं होगा. 30 साल से नहीं हुआ, 30 और साल नहीं होने वाला. It is not possible, really. Sometimes it's futile. All you can do is listen. That's why, when you go to a psychologist, what do? They just listen to you. कुछ सुनने वाले तो है नहीं, तो मैं बोल के क्या करूं? Just have to listen. And you go on and on and on, giving 100 examples for the same point. Got it the first time you said it. Any intelligent person gets it the first time they hear it. Wouldn't it be great if you had students who, first time you told them, they just got it? And we think that if we got students like that, then we would be so happy. But knowledge tells us that if you're not happy with your students today, you will not be happy with your students when they are most brilliant. In every field, it's the same thing. And every one of us has to struggle the same. How do we divide the morning time between studying the text and reflecting on an experience of life or on a solution to an issue faced? Morning study is only for studying the text. If you can understand the text, you will have no problem. There will be no situation, and the situation will be too obvious for you. The reason the situation is not obvious is because morning study is not done. There is no reason to sort of reflect. In life, there are very few situations that require that much thinking, that, it's a situation. There are situations, but there are very few of them. Every day my mom tells me, keep the room clean. Every day I'm irritated with her because she's nagging. It's not a complicated problem, right? It's very simple. Keep the room clean, she won't nag you. But no, that solution doesn't occur to us. Why doesn't the solution not occur to us?
Because we are not ready to listen.
Because the desire is reigning strong. Whatever that desire be, because of which you keep it dirty, it may be because you're too busy. It may be because you're too lazy. Whatever your reason be, the desire is reigning strong. These are just simple principles that we have to get into our head once and for all. And if you manage to get those principles in your head, good for you, because you're sorted. If you don't get them, you will have the same problem hitting you until you get to what the point is. If you feel frustrated listening to philosophy, don't worry. Everybody feels frustrated. You're not alone. It is incredibly frustrating, the journey, because sometimes you will read the text. You will know that the text is telling you the truth. And for the life of you will not be able to figure out what on earth that means. That is everybody's example. Sangeeta, I'm not talking about when you're the mother. I'm talking about when you're the child. When you're the mother, stop nagging. If you're the child, clean your room. You don't interfere in the children's life, telling them whether the room should be clean or not. If they like it, so be it. You can say, all you can say is, you keep this room clean or you don't live here. That you can say if the house is yours. But you can't say clean the room. No, I can't live without my child. My child has to stay here. Then please live with the unclean room. Don't have it both ways. One or the other. That unclean room is the price you're paying for the joy of having your child there. Either you're willing to make the payment or you're not willing to make the payment. Decide. Don't run with the same problem for the rest of your life. Okay, so why do some people get it quickly and others don't get it after many times or not at all? What distinguishes their intellect? Good question, Kalyan Kumar. Why do some people get it? and some people don't get it. I don't know. But the only thing we can offer as a possible idea is some people want the solution enough to put their mind aside. And some people, they don't want the solution. They are enjoying the pain. They're enjoying the comfort of the pain. Because anything known is comfortable, even if it is painful. Anything unknown causes discomfort, even if you think that it will later on give me comfort. So why do some people get it quickly? Some people just want the solution. I mean, in these over 30 years that I've done this, I can't even tell you how many people have approached me with saying, I have X problem or Y problem or Z problem. I think I've heard every variety of problem. I don't know, probably there are more. But in 30 years, literally on my fingers, I can count people who actually solve their problem. And the sad thing, the sadder part, is all the people who solve their problem left with us because they wanted a solution to that problem, nothing. Now, what happens with the rest of the people is they are all confused. They have that problem, and plus they want something else. So neither do they manage to solve the problem, nor do they leave it unsolved. Dono chal rahe hain. They are going on simultaneously.
Okay, ma'am. Very interesting. Yeah.
Yes. The whole philosophical journey is extremely interesting. But what is interesting is your thoughtful gaze at life. So if you have that, then you're a philosopher. Otherwise, not. So you say, I don't like morning study. Don't like morning study? And how are you even a philosopher? I don't understand. What exactly do you think you're doing? Okay? What are we supposed to do? We use our intellect to uncover more and more truth. That's what a philosophical journey is. And if you don't want to do that, then what exactly you're doing, only you must know. How can you not want to know? No matter how much it hurts, you still want to know. Please remember that whatever experience you're going through is the normal human experience. Everybody's going through it. Don't think that, I have a problem here and I have a problem there and other people don't have that problem. Oh no, everybody has the same problem. And basically all problems boil down to only one problem. What is the one problem everybody has?
Desires.
Desires.
Yeah, don't say just desires. Say one more word.
Strong desires.
That is
Unfulfilled.
Unfulfilled desires. Desires is the correct word, of course, because all desire has to be unfulfilled. But literally, if it is this, I want something and I'm not getting it. There is nothing else here. What I can't see at the time that my desire is staying unfulfilled is that I have a bunch of desires which are fulfilled. This is what I'm not able to see. Because if I could see that I have a bunch of desires which are already fulfilled, I will know how much happiness they're giving me. Happiness is a habit you need to cultivate. Happiness is not something you get because your desire was fulfilled. If it was so easy, then anybody who has their desires fulfilled would be happy. But that's not what happens. The moment you fulfill a desire, you know more immediately. Suppose you want to marry a good boy with a good job, studied at IIT, IIM, and then you do find this boy very dynamic, very active, very charming. Prince Charming himself, IIT, I am working where in the company you want him to work or in the business you want him to do. He's just everything you want him to be. You found that person. And then what happens? The moment you're married, what happens? You will see more. Immediately you will see more. You will say, oh, I don't like this combination of shirt and pant you have today. You'll see more. And that more will agitate you just as much the original desire did. When will we get this? A madman's game. You're dooming yourself to failure. You're dooming yourself to unhappiness and not getting it.
But there is this whole notion, ma'am, that if you get and then you are, let's say, satisfied, then you become complacent, and then you become whatever, with whatever is happening, you're comfortable and you don't take the next step forward. So then unfulfilled desires in that sense are good.
Yes, you're right. A lot of management theories, especially Western management theories, which we should all take and dump into the sea, say that. Because people who have not thought about life deeply understand only two states. They understand the state of tamas and they understand the state of rajas. When there's rajas, they see activity. When there's tamas, they see there is no activity. Now, who's going to take a hammer and knock into their head that there is the state of sattva, where a person does what he has to do because he has to do it, not because there is a desire for fulfillment. Who's going to explain this to anybody? It's not easy to explain in class. Now, kisko dhun ke explain kare? There is sattva that tells you to do something because according to you, it's the right thing to do. It's got nothing to do with agitation. To work because you are agitated is to be a donkey. That is labor. It is not work. Work is worship. You worship your goal. You worship your ideal. You worship your Lord. And you work because that's the right thing. Can you imagine the kind of efficiency? You will be 92 years old. You won't have stress and you'll still be working. And you can't say, oh, what is this philosophy? Because that is to this, that we know somebody doing that, right? So you can't say, oh, I don't know whether your philosophy is right. Yes, you're right. Everybody says that if the desire goes, the action will go. When the desire goes, the action goes perfect. See in your own life, no, what happens? That's why you need to
Morning studies.
get up and think about it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati. With Bhaktya, Tritiya Vibhakti, with Bhakti Prayachati. Of course. You offer the simple, everyday things of life. Because you cannot offer anything to the Lord. It is stupid to say, I am offering you something. Because whose is it? Can I come to your house? Suppose I go to Aditi's house and I tell her that, oh, Aditi, what a beautiful vase you have over here. Or if she's just returned from US, then I'll say, oh, Aditi, what a beautiful vase you have over here. And she'll say, oh, do you like it? Please take it. So I say, okay, thank you very much. I take it. And then I say, Aditi, I brought you a present. पागल लोग हैं, मेरा ही वास लेते हैं और मुझे ही देते हैं, mad or something. That's exactly how God thinks. मेरी ही चीजें लेते हैं और मुझे ही देते हैं. Mad people. Who told you it's yours, that you can give it to somebody? Can I come to your house and then take something and give it to your neighbor? Does it make sense? That's what people do. They'll go to somebody's garden, they'll pick up flowers from there and then go and give it at the temple. Pagal ke pagal hai. So stealing somebody has worked to grow those flowers. You go steal those flowers and then you go and give it to God. Bole yahan pe. We had one lady, we used to live in the bungalow. The lady used to grow the flowers and she was a Parsi lady. So she, with all dedication, would grow these flowers and take so much care and buy this cut and that whole bullock cart used to come with all sorts of things. And then these people will go and pluck her flowers. She used to go chasing them with a danda. Madhouse this is, isn't it? So, don't give anything to God. Don't try. But what you can do is whatever you are doing, do it with bhakti and do it with striving. And that is what is taught to us in the ritual that we do in the temple. Every one of us does. So what did he say? Patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam. A leaf, a flower, a fruit in water. Give any of these. So we give flowers, right? So what do you do? How do you do? When you go to a temple, what do you do? There are some flowers. You take the flower and then you offer it to the Lord. That's what you all do. That's the right way of doing it. So what does this mean? These 5 fingers represent the 5 senses. When they point towards the earth, you pick up a flower. Flower, as we studied, was the vasana. You pick up the flower. You pick up the vasana because your senses pointed towards the earth. Now, when you turn these upwards to the Lord, you can drop the vasana. And that's what we practice over and over again to tell us if we want to drop these desires, point them upwards. They will fall. So, patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam. Whether you give a leaf or a flower, leaf, remember, means your activity because the leaf is the most active part of the plant. Flower represents the vasana. Phalam represents the fruit, the total vasana, whatever your life is at the moment, the total. And toyam is the form. When you are able to give the very form away. Because water gives form. If you dehydrate something, it loses form. So when you hydrate, you'll get its form. So water represents form. So giving water means giving the very form away. You don't consider this form anything particularly related to yourself. So whoever with devotion offers me a leaf, a flower, a fruit, water, that devout offering of the striving self, I accept. I accept means what? Your vasanas will go away. You will merge with the Lord. So if you live your life in this manner, then He will accept you. He will accept you means what? You'll be an enlightened soul. Your vasanas will gone. What is it that we learn from this verse? Is that the most simple things done with bhakti, with devotion, done for the sake of the Lord, with striving, because lots of people want to have devotion without striving. Let's leave it to Him. Let's get God to do all our dirty work for us. No, He won't do any of the dirty work. You please do it yourself. So strive. Struggle. Struggle with humanity. Struggle understanding that everybody else is also struggling. Don't look at other people's lives. Like somebody told me that day, when you tell us stories in class, this happens only in your life. It doesn't happen in our life. No. Whatever happens in your life happens in my life too. There's no difference. We're all in the same boat. We just have to get it. And when we get it, that boat will just become a funny boat. But the boat is still the boat. Just a funny boat. That's it. You just find it very entertaining. That's all that happens. Life is not changing for us. We have to change for life. That strive which we do will give us the results. So that's it for today then. Hari Om.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hari Om.
Thank you, Janki ji. Hari Om.
Thank you very much.
Hari Om. Thank you, Janki ji.
Janki ji, Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om,
Thank you,
Janki.
Janki.
Thank
Hari
you.
Om. Janki ji, Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Thank you, Janki ji. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Thank you, Janki ji.